Happy Friday. This is Stephen with Synergistic Nutrition. Every time I deal with clients where, they have any kind of a health issue, the body requires basically an increase in growth hormone to repair everything. So whether you're 15 or 50 or 75 or 80, the body requires growth hormone in certain concentrations to activate the cells of our body to open up and absorb amino acids. So you have to have enough amino acids in the bloodstream, and you have to have enough IGF-1 growth hormone to activate the cells of the body to do their job of making protein. That is scientifically known as the most dominant repair mechanism of the body. There are many other growth factors in the body, ones that repair skin, one that repair arteries, one that repair our brain. There's all these different growth factors. But the growth hormone levels in the body sort of dominate as the master orchestrator of all the growth factors. And I have introduced a product that increases growth hormone levels into the body many, many years ago into my practice. And that product has proven to be perhaps the most powerful product that I've ever worked with. So, in one instance, we had an Asian man, a Japanese man, he was a dentist of short stature who wanted to ensure that his son at age 12 didn't suffer his same fate and remain short like him. So he asked me if it was okay to give him our product, Synergy 1, to his son at that time and see if it would help him to grow taller than his father. So he did. I told him it was fine and to go ahead and give it to him. So he did. Gave it to his son for 2 years. So the son was 12 at the time. And at the age of 14, he discontinued it, but he grew 4 inches in 2 years. Now the thing about that is that he gets to keep those benefits. So even though he discontinued it, he gets to keep those benefits. Same thing with Ron Polstra. So a client of ours, which I'll let you hear his testimony shortly. Years ago, I introduced him to the raw primal diet. So this is Augenis von der Planet's discovery of what cured him of all his ailments. This is the book, The Recipe for Living Without Disease, that he wrote. There's another book called We Want to Live, both of which together enable you to understand the diet, how to do it so it's palatable, how to reverse and regenerate, reverse ailments and regenerate the body with this diet. So Ron was intrigued by that. He came to me with 70% occluded carotid artery, and which meant his whole arterial system was suffering from arterial plaque. So he got on this diet, he got on Synergy 1, this product, and in 12 months when he rechecked his arteries with the doctors, they were 100% clear. So here you have, I think it was in his 70s, 75 or so. So here you have a man aged in years, supposedly not able to reverse any of these maladies, and yet he did.
Hey Ron, you had said you'd been diagnosed with coronary artery disease with a 70% occluded artery, I believe, in your carotid artery.
Yes, that's correct. It was on the left side, the artery in my neck.
Yeah, and anyways, you got on several products that I recommended, and you also probably improved your diet. And I think after 12 months, you had another test redone and found that your artery was now 100% clear. Is that correct?
Yes, actually, I had 2 tests. The first one, I was going through a cancer situation at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it was approximately 1 year from the time that they did this test to find out that sonogram if I had a clogged artery. They found out I did, but it was on the opposite side, on the right side. But they also found this cancer on the left side, and then I went through the whole system of having to have surgery and so forth to remove that pocket of it was actually a sac that was up above my jawline.
Right.
And that was removed, and then after the surgery had gone through and I had healed probably for a couple of months, they sent me back for another sonogram, and on that sonogram there was no plaque at all. I was completely free of it on both sides, left and right.
How long of a time since you'd been on the supplement program and improved diet did it take till you did the retest?
Actually, I had been on for at least a year.
Okay.
Actually, it started just before the cancer, and then I had kept continuing through it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards. And then, of course, I had another sonogram done 9 months ago, completely clear on both the arteries.
All right.
The diet had a large percentage to do with his ability to heal. I'm not saying Synergy 1 didn't. It also played a big role. But when you're eating raw, then you're not introducing inflammatory chemicals. So when you cook a food, especially if you cook a fat or a protein with fats, you're oxidizing the fat into lipid peroxide. When you eat that, some of it goes into the bloodstream, some of it damages the lining of the arteries, and depending upon how young you are and how healthy you are, that could lead to a lesion that is the beginning of the formation of plaque. So anyways, that's one example. We've had other examples of people just take Synergy 1 and alkalize the body and reverse their gum recession. That was Kate Graff.
Well, the happiest thing that I've experienced from taking the product is my hair is thick. I have a lot of hair, and I didn't have that when I first started taking it. I was worried about my hair thinning, but I've been taking it now for a little over 2 years, and I have twice as much hair as when I started. In addition, the lashes under my eyes were non-existent. I never in my life had eyelashes on the lower lids until now. And now I have thick eyelashes, and a few of them are even up to 1 inch long.
Kate, why don't you share with the listeners what your experiences have been?
Hi, well, my name is Kate Graff, and I'm 58 years old, and I wanted to first speak about the fact that taking the NanoCalc and the cod liver oil has truly encouraged the regrowth of my gums. When I spoke to my dentist about my receding gums, he told me that nothing could be done and I should start using a soft toothbrush. However, after a few months of taking the NanoCalc and the cod liver oil, I noticed my gums are growing back. Also, now that I've been able to have a better pH balance with the cod liver oil and the NanoCalc, my skin looks nice. I have a really nice texture to my skin, and I think it has to do with the combination of those two products.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't aware that the gum recession is a sign of osteoporosis, where when one's jawbone has lost enough bone mass, then the gums begin to recede. So even without an actual doctor's diagnosis with an x-ray, you can be pretty certain that is you have an osteoporosis condition, that by using the NanoCalc cod liver oil, reversing gum recession is truly, in essence, saying that you're remineralizing the bones of the jaw, and then that's what allows for the gums to grow back. So that's great.
Okay, so you just heard Kate Graff's experience with Chrysalis, which is now called Synergy 1. So we changed the name of Chrysalis to Synergy 1. And with a combination of this and an alkalinizing program that at the time was a cod liver oil product that we no longer work with because we have a better version, and NanoCal, which is an alkalinizing calcium formula that was so aggressive that it could cause muscle cramping, so we discontinued using it. So now we actually alkalize with lime water and Cal2. Lime water is not the citrus lime, it's a liquid calcium supplement, and Cal2 is an encapsulated calcium supplement. And then with those, we combine that with the Rosita cod liver oil. So Rosita is proven to be superior to all other cod liver oils because it's the only one that's never been heated. And it's the most unoxidized, the most best tasting. So that's the one we use. But that doesn't even contain enough vitamin A and D, in my opinion, anymore, because I did a study on 4 people with their osteoporosis issue, and I found out that the cod liver oil wasn't a significant player, at least the brand that I was working with, in supporting the vitamin A, D, and K2 needs of the body that's involved for creating new bone tissue. So we work with K2 Plus for that. So K2 Plus has vitamin A, D, and K2, which are all 3 fat-soluble vitamins that work together to both dissolve old bone and create new bone. So while I no longer work with exactly what she was taking in the pH Duo, we have upgraded to better products to get more results. I do know that her hair growth and all that, and her eyelash growth was a result of the Synergy 1. So the reversal of gum recession was due to a combination of taking the alkalinizing supplements and the crystals, which is now called Synergy 1. She said it was just due to the pH Duo product package, but it's not. She just wasn't aware. She said in her testimony she's been on it for 2 years, the Synergy 1 product, and that was promoting the hormonal mechanisms of the body that are involved in protein, bone density. We had another woman named Joyce who worked for us who had degenerative disc disease and thin discs, and she, was an average American with her diet. She was eating acidifying foods and drinking Pepsis and things that are acidifying the body, and so she was suffering from basically sciatica really bad, where her nerves coming out of her spinal column to her legs were pinching, and she was on Darvon, a very powerful pain medication. And basically I told her what to do, and she got on Synergy 1 and she alkalized her body. the alkalization at that time was coral calcium and cod liver oil. Nowadays it's more sophisticated, more powerful, so I use a product called lime water is the name of the product, and also Cal2, much more powerful than coral calcium alone to alkalize the body. And also, instead of using just cod liver oil, which is great in the diet, I also recommend they take K2+, which is much stronger in its ability to support new bone synthesis. So she did this for 4 months, and in 4 months she was out of pain, and she did the x-rays, and they showed the reversal of disc degeneration. They'd grown in thickness, and the reversal of osteoporosis that was going on in her body. So that was a big deal, because she was a young lady and she was told she could never have a child because the weight of a child in her womb would potentially crush her spinal nerves going to her legs and paralyze her. That's how bad her condition was. So now she went on to be able to have a baby, which she did shortly thereafter, and she had a healthy boy. This is something that virtually everybody out there that has any degree of I want to be healthy in their mind, who is taking supplements, eating a healthy diet, you want to look at Synergy 1, you want to look at raising growth hormone levels in your body as the most important, powerful, therapeutic nutraceutical intervention that you could do that dominates over everything else. So, if you're talking about just taking amino acids or just taking vitamins, how do you spend your money? It's much more powerful to spend it on raising HGH levels in the body, because that's going to lead to, the body's ability to make proteins. So your body is a protein synthesis organism or mechanism, and so whatever degree you can support its ability to make protein is the key to everything, including increasing telomerase. So, you've got, Synergy 1 that's been proven to increase growth hormone levels by 109% in men and 102% in women over 6 months. In the email newsletter that you've received here, you can read the chart and you can see that, women in their late 40s, men in their early 50s took Synergy 1 over the course of 6 months and tracked all these benefits that happened to them, as well as increasing their IGF-1 levels, which is the metabolite of growth hormone. So growth hormone that's produced by your pituitary gland goes to the liver and triggers the liver to produce IGF-1. It's IGF-1 that does the majority of all this repair of the body. Every cell of the body virtually has a receptor site for it that, again, instructs the cells to absorb amino acids and make proteins. So you do have to have enough amino acids. I've had vegan, vegetarian people take it and notice no results because they're in a chronic negative nitrogen balance. And then also you have to have a stable blood sugar. So I've had people that are eating white sugar, drinking coffee, and keeping their insulin levels high because those things trigger your pancreas to produce insulin. And insulin is so much like IGF-1. IGF-1 stands for insulin-like growth factor, that you end up blocking the effects of IGF-1. So a healthy diet that's free of sugar and low in actual sweets, because there's plenty of sugar in natural fruits and dried fruits and things. So I find that that's been my problem for years. I grew up on lots of sweets in my diet, and so the tendency for doing that naturally, dates and bananas and fruit juice, grape juice, things like that. Very high in sugar that's natural, and so it's much better than white sugar, but nonetheless causes that insulin level to rise and fall, which is known to be very conducive to accelerated aging. So the only way I found that I could overcome that was with a combination of, again, Synergy 1, which stabilizes my energy a lot, and also taking free-form amino acids. So the formulas, which I've spoken about several times in the past in this email newsletter format, are Super Sports, All Basic, and All Basic Plus. Those three formulas, the first one deals with helping you have the energy to want to work out. So it helps you to burn fat, build muscle, and physically have the energy to do the exercise. Powerful product. 1 to 3 caps of that, prior to a workout, and then with like 3 sprays of Synergy 1, 45 minutes later, you're ready to go. So the other one's All Basic, so that's just for evenness of mind, the ability to stay clear and focused, but a stable blood sugar, supports the immune system, support to overall tissue repair. Again, 1 to 3 capsules of that. Just depends on your body size. So if you're, smaller body size, you might only need 1. Larger body size, you probably need 2 or 3. So that enables you to stay focused and do your whatever your thing is. Whether you're at-home mom taking care of kids, you have more energy and more focus to do that, more patience. Whether you're an office worker or any other kind of profession, more mental clarity and more focus to do it in a shorter period of time. I'm sure you probably all experienced this in the past, is that when you feel your best, you can get something done in half the time that it would take if you don't feel your best. So, and a higher quality of whatever that is. For me, it's, writing informative newsletters, educating people, creating reports. I just finished a report that is called the Kidney Regeneration Report. We might change the name, but at this time, that's what it's called. And basically, it's a nice ebook that you can download, buy off of our website, that educates a person with chronic kidney disease that's approaching kidney failure, or a person who's already suffering from kidney failure and is on dialysis, what to do to reverse all that. Because we've had several case histories now of people reversing kidney failure and getting off dialysis. So that requires a lot of focus on my part, and I find that if I take Synergy 1 and my amino acids, that I get more focus to do my work in half the time and a higher quality. So, and then you've got All Basic Plus. All Basic Plus is a free-form amino acid supplement with tryptophan in it. It's kind of like All Basic, but All Basic doesn't have any tryptophan. But the All Basic Plus does. And so that's for people who are low in serotonin. Serotonin is that neurotransmitter that enables you to feel very peaceful. And for anybody that has a short temper, for anybody that's, maxed out and they tend towards being, they have too much dopamine, they're too much anxiety, taking All Basic Plus will give you the same mental clarity and perhaps even more than the All Basic does, so that you have that peace within you to focus on something and really absorb the information you're paying attention to, really be creative about whatever you're creating, whatever that is. So Synergy 1 by itself will change your life in such a powerful way that we guarantee it or your money back. So as I said, whether you're young and injured and need to temporarily take it to repair, or 40 and above, because that's the age point that typically your HGH production has declined so much that you really notice it. So you don't repair as fast, you don't have as much energy for exercise, and that's because of a drop in your growth hormone levels. They drop by 14% per decade after age 28. So really important that you compensate for that. Now, in our day and age, with all the nutraceutical science that we have available, there are things called secretagogues. Secretagogue is just a fancy name for a nutrient that is able to activate the body's production of IGF-1. I've worked with other products in the past, other HGH secretagogue products, never found them to deliver near the results or any at all compared to Synergy 1. Synergy 1 is a very unique product. It's a tasteless liquid. You spray it into the cheek cave of the mouth, 3 sprays into the cheek cave of the mouth at bedtime, and upon arising, hold it there 90 seconds to let it absorb. And it'll start to help support the increase of IGF-1, which in turn will activate all the bodies to do their job of better protein synthesis, better repair. So in this newsletter, I basically introduced you to the first studies that were done by Dr. Chen. So this particular doctor was the first doctor in the United States in 1994 to use growth hormone injections in his practice. So as you can imagine, growth hormone injections are pretty expensive, so his clients had to be fairly affluent to afford it, and they also were very health conscious with their diet as well. So I'm just going to take time to read this to you because you may be only seeing this on YouTube and you may not have access to my newsletters, which, by the way, if you're on YouTube watching this and you want to get my newsletters where you learn quite a bit of nutritional science about how to keep your body healthy and gain access to supplements that really change your life so that you recover from whatever or feel your best, you can come to sgn80.com. That's samgeorgenancy80.com. The site is named Synergistic Nutrition, and there's a place there on the site for you to sign up for our newsletters and get them directly yourself. So basically, he guaranteed, Dr. Chen was so successful with everybody that used the injectable GH that he guaranteed the following: a gain in bone density of 1.5 to 2.5% every 6 months, a loss of 10 to 12% of body fat every 6 months if they were overweight, and a gain of 8 to 10% in muscle mass every 6 months. The changes in body fat to lean muscle ratio will continue, he says, until the body composition has reverted to that of a 20-year-old, and then it will stay that way. If these changes did not happen, he would refund them. He never had to refund anyone. And the results that these people got, it was 800 people over the course of 2 years. And the results that they got were phenomenal. There was a survey taken of all these people, and 308 of them responded and wrote in the survey the following benefits. So the first one is strength, exercise, and body fat, and then the degree of improvement. So muscle strength, 88% degree of improvement, muscle size, 81%, body fat loss, 72% improvement, exercise tolerance, 81% improvement, skin and hair, skin texture, 71% improvement, skin thickness, 68% improvement, skin elasticity, 71% improvement, wrinkle disappearance, 61% improvement, new hair growth, 38% improvement. Healing, flexibility, and resistance. Healing of old injuries, 55% improvement. Healing of other injuries, 61% improvement. Healing capacity, 71% improvement. Back flexibility, 83% improvement. Resistance to common illnesses, 73% improvement. And sexual function. Sexual potency and frequency, 75% improvement. Duration of penile erection, 62% improvement. Frequency of nighttime urination, 57% improvement. Hot flashes for women, 58% improvement. Menstrual cycle regulation, 39% improvement. We've had numerous women over the years going through menopause experiencing hot flash symptoms. Take Synergy 1 and all their symptoms go away completely. Vaginal dryness goes away, their libido comes back, and basically they feel like a younger woman. And on the topic of energy, emotions, and memory, energy level was an 84% improvement. Emotional stability was 67% improvement. Attitude towards life was 78% improvement. Memory was 62% improvement. So everybody out there that has a relative in their life who's suffering from Alzheimer's, you got to introduce them or introduce the person responsible for them to Synergy 1. I believe it can make the big difference and be super affordable and easy to take. Same thing for Parkinson's. I recommend that anybody helping out a Parkinson's person become aware that you can promote repair of the brain by increasing the IGF-1 levels in the body, and therefore Synergy 1 can be a valuable contribution to somebody's brain neurological health. Also, there's misinformation out there on the topic of IGF-1 regarding cancer. So IGF-1 activates the cells of the body to absorb amino acids so they can make protein, which then a doctor with their linear logic then concludes without proof that increasing IGF-1 will cause cancer cells to grow in the body. So the body doesn't work in a linear fashion like the way our minds think. If A, then B, then C. The body works in a holistic capacity where when you introduce euthanating factors, you can promote the euthanating of the body on all levels such that the immune system, liver, all become more able to function at a younger level, thus supporting the body's ability to rid itself of any disease process. So that's true in this case as well. So as an example, you've got this one instance in this email newsletter that I created where they talk about a man who had prostate cancer with his PSA in the 50 to 60 ranges. Normal PSA is 0 to 4.0, and prostate cancer men usually have a PSA of in the 10 to 20 range. So he was suggested to do surgery, and he refused it. Instead, he asked Dr. Chen to give him growth hormone injections and these other supplements, which is DHEA and melatonin. So that's what he did. So his PSA levels returned to close to normal, 5 to 7 range. That's one example of a man who, with growth hormone therapy or raising IGF-1 levels, actually saw his enlarged prostate and high PSA return to close to normal. So the big picture is that, between ages 18 and 28, you have the highest levels of IGF-1 growth hormone in your body. That's the time when you're the most protected from all disease. Think about it. That's when you see the least incidence of cancer. That's when you see the fastest recovery, the greatest strength, the greatest agility. It's obvious the parameters of youth are to have higher levels of IGF-1 growth hormone in the body. And what that means is to support the thymus gland, which is your immune system, your bone marrow production, which is part of your immune system, your liver health, which is involved in protecting you from all diseases. So I recommend that clients take this Synergy 1 when they're dealing with cancer. I have a whole protocol called the Cancer Report. I just had Larry Garrett, 64-year-old man, basically given 3 months to live with stage 3 bone cancer, reverse all of that in 3 months. I mean, it's just amazing. You can hear his testimony.
Hi, my name is Larry Garrett, and I am 64 years old, and I went to the doctor in May of 2018 because my back was messed up, and I was having a lot of pain, and I was diagnosed with bone cancer and given 3 months to live. My doctor told me he could prolong my life with chemo, and then he could do a bone transplant, and that would probably give me 3 years. He explained how painful the bone marrow surgery would be, and I wouldn't be able to leave the house for weeks afterward. I went home with 6 medications, including chemo pills, pain pills. My blood pressure was high. My sugar was high. My kidneys were failing. And at that time, I weighed 250 pounds. The next 4 months, I spent 24 hours in bed. I've always been into natural medicine, and I knew that I didn't want to continue this chemo. And for damn sure, I wasn't doing the bone marrow transplant. So I kept researching and found Stephen. And on June the 1st, I had a consultation with him, and I got on his program, and I bought 2 books so I could do the diet he recommended. I went full force. I bounced back. I mean, I really bounced back. I quit all the drug, chemo, and pain medicine on the first day. On July the 1st, I had so much energy, I went to the gym. I lost weight. I now weigh 182 pounds. My waist has gone down 38 to 31. My body is becoming more muscular, even though I just lift lightweight. I went for my first checkup after I've been on Stephen's program 30 days, and my thyroid was a little swollen, and Stephen told me what to do, and that went away immediately. The second checkup was another month later, and my doctor said I was totally healthy. My blood pressure, my blood sugar was perfect. My blood cell count was normal. My hemoglobin came back up, and my kidneys are fine too. I'm just going back every month now just to hear my doctor say, keep doing what you're doing, Larry.
So I'm confident that we here at Synergistic Nutrition now have the secrets to unlock your health with regards to the cancer subject, with regards to the kidney regeneration subject, with regards to cardiovascular health, and basically all ailments, because there's the autoimmune aspect that you have to address. I know how to address that now. So we're here to support you feeling fantastic, because it's about raising everybody's vibration to the state of joy, because the dark forces that are seeking to enslave all of us and have been successful for quite a few decades lose all their power when humans have joy and love. Joy and love is something that should occur naturally, organically, as a result of being extremely healthy. That's my experience, and I believe that's everyone else's experience. And I've heard it said that if the human race could sustain a state of joy and love for just a short window of time, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, that all the dark forces that exist both physically on earth and in the spiritual world would lose their power, and we would be set free from them. So it's a bigger picture than just, hey, selling you a product and trying to get you to feel a little better. It's like a big deal for me to promote nutrition, because it's from the perspective that health is like light to darkness. So I thank you for your time and attention. We look forward to making you feel great again. This is Stephen with Synergistic Nutrition.